Oh. That's I had to let y'all know how I felt this morning. What's up, y'all? This is the Jay the Great Show. You up? You should be up after that. You weren't expecting that. I ain't never did that before. Good Lord. What's up, world? It's the Jay the Great Show here live on Hot 93.97 Network. It's the Samuel takeover, man. They got cameras all in my face and stuff. I'm humpbacked like a whale over here. Y'all see I'm tall. God, I ain't know. I was wondering why my back was hurting the whole dang on week.
That's how you feel today. That's how you feel.
What up, True? Don't ask me no questions.
Don't ask you no questions.
Oh, wow.
God is good. Goodness. God is good. What's up, West Coast, East Coast? What's up, Brazil, Australia, New York, Chicago, Africa, UK? God is good. Should we take prayer right now?
Yes, we should. Yes, we should.
Ooh, I was not expecting that. That was too funny.
It's been a hell of a morning.
If anybody was sleepy, welcome.
It's been a hell of a morning. Right now, I want to let y'all know too, go to the App Store or the Play Store and download the 93.97 app. Type in 93.97 Network.
Absolutely.
Download it. You can listen to all of our shows as well as catch loyalty programs and rewards from our affiliates.
Absolutely.
In the marketplace. So YouTube live streaming today. So I'm just looking at myself and talking at the same time.
I can see you wasn't prepared for this today.
No, I ain't shaved. I wore my Gucci cologne though. I smell good.
They can't see no.
But I ain't shaved.
You good.
I didn't want to shave.
You look
this
fine
morning.
to me.
Thank you. Thank
I
you,
don't
too.
see no stubbles, you know.
You know you pretty too. I'll be looking you in your eyes when I'm talking to you.
Thank you.
I'll be looking
I wish
you
I had your eye color though.
Yeah. Yeah, them eyes got me in trouble.
I know.
I've been walking around getting away with it for 40 years.
40 years.
Not somebody that got me. Push. Yeah, I know.
Somebody
I got close.
you
I
high,
say it,
like you didn't want to be got.
I didn't.
What?
No, I didn't.
Whatever.
No.
Whatever.
Okay.
Y'all being so full of it. Let's talk about that today. No, don't even need to stop it. Like you ain't want to be got. We were created for one another.
Wow.
So eventually, I'm gonna want to be got, and you gonna want to be got. So let's be got.
But
together.
I get to choose when I get got.
That's
sometimes
to work on my schedule.
Sometimes you don't.
Yeah, I know, women.
Sometimes
look how y'all said that in unison, meaning you get to take that control.
Sometimes love
you know exactly what you was doing.
It sneaks up on you.
No, that wasn't. It was a sneak attack.
It's just the universe.
It was a sneak attack.
Working out natural selection.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know we were creative.
I ain't in the best mood. No, I'm kidding. I'm feeling great this morning, man. Having fun. Had a great weekend. What'd you do this weekend?
What was my favorite cartoon? Pinky and the Brain. He used to ask.
Yeah.
What we doing today? Pinky trying to take over the world.
What's going on with that? Are you achieving that goal?
Listen, yes. Slowly but surely.
How do I get I want to know, how do I get the link for the YouTube live stream? Production? I know they hear me out there. They be on it. I remember last show, we were on the show and we left the mic on for like 5 seconds. Man, our team is so awesome. I got a call immediately. He wasn't even in the building. He probably at the bank or something.
Right.
Doubling up. You know what I mean? He was like, mic is on, mic is on, mic is on. Shouts out to our production team.
Absolutely, they are awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what we got a couple of things today that we were going to cover, man. And I thought to myself to call you earlier but I was on calls the entire way here. And actually up to about 5 minutes ago, I was walking around, y'all like, dude, what?
Well, you right here, you the jack of get your way.
No, I'm not a jack of all trades. No. Them dudes don't make no money. That is not it. That is not it.
That's not it.
No.
You definitely busy. You are
I am.
definitely
God
busy.
is good. I'm just trying to. No, I'm not trying. Trying, rhyme, or crying sound like lie. I'm just doing my best to make sure that take care of my family.
Absolutely. And
Leaving something
leaving a
behind,
legacy,
and thinking beyond yourself.
creating generational
And that's
wealth.
difficult. I'm not gonna lie. It's difficult to do when you've been on your own. And then it's not difficult. It just changes your mindset instantly. And now I'm just like, okay. My Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays will be different now. They'll be different. All right, so what you got for us, Francine, aka Francis?
You just gonna
You
start
better
out-
have something
you just
good.
gonna
I'm not
Uh-huh.
playing no games
You're
today.
just gonna start out.
No games today.
No
No games, huh? Well, this is it's
I
a
love you,
little
by the way.
funny.
Thank you for
Love
showing
you
up today. Because I don't
You're-
think I
you're
was
welcome.
gonna
We
be
ain't get into our little morning talk. We just jumping right into it. We don't converse amongst each other first like we used to.
We just did for like 15 minutes. Was it
You
not
asked
up to
me,
your? It wasn't
you
up
ain't
to
asked-
par.
You ain't experiences, but she
Well-
her weekend.
I'm a boring person, so he doesn't need.
So how you doing, Tro? Hold on, Francis. Let me get past. Let me
No,
revert.
Francis talking. She talking. I
Yeah,
feel her.
Francis. You know what it is. I've known her for we
Yeah, I
just
think that's what it
we
is.
just it's like whatever. I
He
know
know
how
I
everything
don't
was.
He
It
know
was
I don't need to say nothing.
no, I know she don't need
You
to
know,
say
right,
nothing. She just
right.
gonna see
I
it.
don't, I
And
don't
we
do
have some
nothing.
little family camaraderie before we jump right into.
I
the
said I
plan.
loved y'all. I admired your eyes. I mean, dang. You want what you cooked this weekend?
Nothing.
See, I knew that. That's all I'm saying.
It took me to get things together,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I would like to know. I would like to know actually where that link is. I would really like to know it. So, shouts out to Jay the Great, man, wherever you are in the world,
Absolutely.
Yes.
being great.
Being great.
Love
I
you,
call
Jay.
him the general.
The general, like the
Jay-
insurance.
Jay the general. No, like in the army, the general. I call him the general. I've always called him that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is the Jay the Great show. This
It
is his station.
It is. It is. We miss him. Wherever you are loved.
Just bring your golf clubs, man. I don't want to hear nothing. You don't call me back this weekend, fine. Just bring your golf clubs. That's all I'm saying. I didn't call them this weekend, so let me be honest. But yeah, I was just talking to production team. I'm like, man, you can feel the weather breaking a little bit. It's time to golf, and that's really where we get our time to kind of powwow and
It must be
and chill out.
man thing. Golf must be a man thing.
it's so.
Mhm.
No, I mean,
You have women that play.
have you ever played?
No.
Then how you going?
Yeah.
Because the way I'm just
Oh, you
I'm
say
just, I'm just
scenes.
telling you, right. I'm just telling you my perception from what I've seen. It looks boring. But maybe you can enlighten me on
I think we should just go out and play. You ever been putt golfing?
Yeah.
not in
Oh, we gonna
years.
start off there.
Not
How
in
was it?
years.
Did you enjoy it?
No.
Did you have drinks while you were putt putting?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, well then. All right. Then I can't fault your experience on that, but I'm just gonna let you know. Add a little Miller Lite, Budweiser, Heineken, Corona,
Corona.
a little Jack
And it
Daniels,
changes the game.
a little Woodford Reserve. Shouts out to my boy Jay.
It changes the game.
Oh man, it makes it fun. Those first 2-3 rounds you're playing, you're serious. You hit the ball in the water. You lost about 3-4 of your Callaways.
You're referring to Papa Dog.
You're a little upset. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm referring to actually to putt. Yeah, I can lose some calories and putt. You can go into a house and get stuck in the little fan thing, dog's mouth, all type of things. They have all type of scenarios to catch you up and putt golf.
It's actually fun.
But
Okay.
Without
by
alcohol,
the third, fourth hole, you got your little margarita. Yeah, it ain't.
Okay, maybe change my
Yeah.
Yeah,
perception.
to stand like this,
It's still fun without alcohol.
to stand over the ball like this with your head down, and you can had a margarita or two, the game becomes a little bit more interesting.
Oh, is that right?
Throws off your equilibrium.
You have to focus.
Yeah,
That's
I'm gonna have to get a.
That's funny.
I'm gonna do something about this chair. All right, so yeah, rare form of that.
Sam, man, he having an issue with these cameras. He keep looking at
Cause I don't like the. I don't like, I'm not that type of guy.
them.
This is tough for me.
Yeah, I can.
I'm
I
not
can
that
imagine.
type of guy. I don't like. Anyway, I've been in the camera all my life,
Okay.
and I'm at that point in my life now.
Trying to fall back from the spotlight, do things behind the scenes.
You have no idea.
Okay, that's
And look,
that's
since you don't know.
that's I
You
mean,
don't know.
since you said you were in that and you're trying to fall back from that,
Right?
so-
It's an oxymoron.
Yeah,
It's an oxymoron. It's putting pressure on my
it's
life.
putting pressure on you.
I'm feeling it. And it's getting hot in here. All right, can we move? What's going on with the show? This ain't about me. This is about the world. Peace.
The world.
Can we talk about the war? Can we talk about anything that can get this? No. So this is Monday, right?
It is.
It is.
Okay, good.
It is Monday.
Good.
Monday is Monday.
No, it was a full moon. Over
It
the-
Well, it's a full moon every time before
I
Easter.
But it was
seen
a
that.
pink.
I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
Who does that represent?
I was in the house at night.
Was in the house.
I seen that yesterday
Yeah,
and last night.
I was in
What
the
does
house. So I didn't look
moon
at the moon.
represent?
Yeah, what does that pink moon represent? Since you want to bring it up, now you got to give the facts.
Yeah, I wanna know.
Well,
See?
you can talk about that if you like.
No.
I would love to know.
Yeah. So what topics do we have for today? We're gonna move right along while you're researching the moon.
Yeah, me too.
I got your back. I got your back. I got your back. Let's
She
just
know
move around.
Francis. She know what is off the rip.
I do, but how about you guys look it up? Because I already know.
Oh,
But I'm gonna give
We
you
need the
something.
world needs to know.
So you can tell.
Okay.
But I do want to let you know this. Some in Livonia, Michigan. Okay,
We're in Michigan.
Livonia.
Where's Livonia, Michigan?
In
Is that like
Michigan.
outside of Detroit?
Suburb.
Okay,
it's a suburb of
Metropolitan
Detroit.
area, if you
Okay.
wanna-
Shouts out to Livonia, Michigan, man.
Well, I don't know really if you want to say that.
Okay. What happened?
Because some kindergartners, a little girl, brought some tequila, Quavo, margarita mix to
Pronto.
school for snack time
Pronto.
for little friends.
Okay. And what happened? They get lit?
They actually drunk a little bit of
The
it.
tequila. Shouts out.
Oh,
Shouts out to the minors out there drinking tequila
Wow.
in Livonia,
She
Michigan.
done went in the stash. She stole
Are
it
you
from her
serious?
parents.
So what happened? I know that's horrible. So
Oh my
what ended up
goodness.
occurring? So the school board got involved. I'm
Well,
assuming.
the little kid, one of the little kindergartners was obviously very smart to know
Okay.
that it was
Tequila.
alcohol
Alcohol.
and went and told the
So-
teacher.
So the kindergartner that told the teacher, you calling them smart. I'm thinking they're parents of.
Well,
Kids or
obviously
parents
they
that
know
drink.
not to.
They know not to.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they drink it? Is it verified that that kid that
No,
reported
they
it,
smelt it and
they smelled it?
Oh, wow.
So what happened? Did they
Very
drink it?
smart.
one of the other kids
Nice.
did. And she said she felt a little dizzy.
I felt a little dizziness. Ain't nothing like a little shot before pre-K
I can
math.
really imagine that car.
Yeah, that's
home
horrible.
To the parents.
Yeah, that has to be a situation where I mean, obviously you have to notify the parents, but the school board, I guess, is involved. So what's the kickback there? What are they saying?
Discipline action.
Against the parents?
The student.
The student. Wow. What grade are they in?
Kindergarten.
I don't feel that's necessary, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause
the,
it was. It just seems like it was. Of course, it wasn't intentional on the parents' behalf, but kids get into stuff
right.
and they see stuff, and it's just unfortunate. Little kindergartners, we know toddlers. So toddlers are very comical. They are very smart. Toddlers and
Toddlers,
kindergarten.
are you in
So
kindergarten?
basically, she got expelled.
Expelled,
Yeah, she won't.
kicked out the school.
School started back today, and she won't be returning.
That's
They
messed up.
said they'll take disciplinary measures
I don't agree with that.
according to the
Oh,
school,
man.
student code. So if you bring liquor to school, that's immediate, expulsion.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't think that the kids should be expelled at all.
Wow.
So the kid basically now they just have to change schools. I guess now with insurance liabilities and stuff like that, it's just best to just kick them out.
But also
From the school
parent-
standpoint,
but also,
they're just looking at it. It's just best to kick you out without having to deal with all the pressure. Like I don't think that our
Yeah, that's-
education. Well, I don't agree with the decision. I just think that they feel that it's best to kick them out, right?
but the parent also needs to be held accountable.
The parent has to be accountable, but when you kick out the kid, you're punishing the kid.
But both.
Yeah, you're
No.
punishing both.
I-
Yeah, because kids got to be home today. And apparently, the liquor was close to the bags over by the chips and the eggs and the bacon.
It was something that was planned. They
Yeah.
put it in their bag and took it to school and said, at snack time, because they see their parents do that. Obviously,
Just take it out the
come
bag.
over, friends come over,
Right.
they're sitting,
Right.
drinking this stuff, and they like, okay,
Let's go ahead and get at it.
this is my fun snack time at school.
Right.
Let's-
Right,
I'm with
right,
my friends. Well, whatever
But I-
happened to juice box?
right.
I don't.
Capri Sun.
I don't. I think I agree with you, Sandy, because it should have. I mean, it's a kindergartner
Right.
from a
That's tough.
child's mind.
That's
But
tough.
still no right from wrong.
Nah. Listen. Here's what I'm saying. The social aspect of the displacement, the movement of the kid. So you're in class. This is by the time you're 7, your personality is formed. Okay. So the people that you interact with from 0 to 7 depict
0 to 7.
Yeah, 0 to 7, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You don't say 1 year to so your tender year, you're 0
Who are
to
you playing with at 1 month?
your parents. So if they drop you on your head, if they cuss at you, if they yell, if they're fighting, that's gonna start to form your concept of interaction. So that's why I say 0 to 7. So when you go to Old Navy and you're looking at kids' clothes, doesn't it say 0 to 3 or 0 to 6 or 3 to 6? Yeah. So I'm just using that relative instrument there of like how they actually tag the clothes for kids. So when I look at that reference from 0 to 7, who you're interacting with and the people that you're talking to affect your growth.
Yeah.
And so that's just a dent or a smear or a scratch or a tear in that kid's experience at a young age. And being reprimanded is one thing. But you have to think about the kid and then also how the parents are. See, as administration, they're supposed to be really smart, right? So then if you look at it, they say, okay, well, did they look at it and say, this moment in time, is it the best thing for this kid to be kicked out and removed from their friends versus being reprimanded, miss a day or something like that, and be able to notify the parents and it just not happen again. Because 9 times out of 10 that wouldn't happen again.
Absolutely.
Okay. What's your thoughts on that?
No, because that child is affecting other kids.
And that kid being removed affects other kids too if that's their friend.
Yes, but that's causing harm to another child.
So
The other kids was getting dizzy.
Okay.
They didn't feel
so let me
good.
ask you this.
So you're harming another child. Now, yes, the child needs to be, sat down and have somebody to talk to them and explain things better to them. Because if that was the case, the child would not have brought that to school.
Right. So the challenge can be created as an opportunity.
The child is smart enough to know I have to hide this from mommy because if she sees it in my bag, she's going to take it out. Hopefully,
Well, I
because
don't think the kid's
as a
just gonna be like,
kindergartner,
go ahead and take it, girl.
as a
Instead of
kindergartner,
taking-
you should be checking your kid's backpack already to make sure everything that because if so, they should forget something,
Well, maybe
pencil
there's
case
some-
or something like that. So
Yeah.
that means nobody checked that backpack that morning.
Mhm. Well, maybe there's some underlying issues there too. You never know, really. Maybe if that was the first interaction, I just think that, and so they maybe have only printed what they printed in that circumstance. You can definitely feel both ways on that, but I don't think the kid should be expelled.
Maybe suspended,
Yeah, miss a day or 2 or 3.
I think it's a conversation that
but
everybody should have had because it's really, like you said, I know I probably wouldn't check my child's backpack every day. And certainly I wouldn't think that he or she would take alcohol to school. So once I'm notified, if you want to get the other parents, the kids were affected, you want to get it, let's all have a conversation. But expulsion, I think that was a little extreme.
That's extreme.
Because of their age,
But-
it wasn't,
But I feel like that could possibly happen in this day and age. Getting to my point earlier, it's just easy. It's just easier from the insurance standpoint of a school, from the school board, depending on how the parents are in that particular district, how they react to things. Maybe it was just easier for them to say, you know what, screw it, just kick them out.
because the
that
teacher
district is
actually
pretty
thought the kids was just playing. Like, yeah, she passed it off like at first
Okay.
when the little girl went to her and told her like, "It's alcohol in this cup." She was like, "Yeah, right." Like,
Right.
who'll bring alcohol?
Right.
And then she was adamant about
Right.
it
It's
and
like the
smelt it, and she was like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay."
It's like the Will Smith
But
Chris Rock smack. Nobody believed it till Will got back to the table and
to
started,
the floor and
and
start
started
yelling.
yelling.
right.
Yeah. All right. So what else we got? We got some stuff coming up. Super slow, man. You're supposed to have that filled up already.
For me, well,
I'm not
True might
playing around
wanna-
today.
True
No,
might
I'm
want to
kidding.
say something. I don't want to hold.
All right. Well, cool. Well, listen. We'll do this when we come back from break. We'll have some more information, some more topics to discuss here on Monday. Right now, I think we're going to go into French Montana Unforgettable. And you're rocking live at 93.97 Jada Gray Show. Tune in to the YouTube channel, the Good Time Show Live. Also, just tap into the Jada Gray Show on your screen, and then you should be able to watch us clearly and see our beautiful faces here live at the station.
I know, right? This was a
So,
start today.
obviously,
Yay.
Monday is a day for you to start to create your plan. Most of the time you should do it on Sunday, but to create your weekly plan and get motivated. So we'll have some cool quotes and statements for you guys to get locked into, be kind of motivated today as well. So we'll be right back after this. French Montana Unforgettable.
And when we come back, our next topic will be: do we live in
for you,
or brunch.
or brunch, lunch or brunch, brunch or lunch. And if you got a chance to, make sure that you go to YouTube Live and type in 9397 Network, and you can check us in the studio doing our thing and follow us and see us. I don't know. We look good today. We look good today.
I look good every day.
Right.
I don't look good every day. I do my best.
I'm always fly.
But you always, I stay fly.
When I'm not fly, I'm fly.
Well, I wish I felt that way today.
Aw.
I mean,
Oh,
because you know I'm a chocolate girl with charm.
ChocolateGirlCharm.com. Make sure you go to ChocolateGirlCharm.com.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Make sure you go to ChocolateGirlCharm.com.
I
Absolutely.
don't know what you missing.
Yes. With all the new designs, t-shirt designs, you can order them straight from the website. Brought to you by our own True Mahogany. That's our selfish plug, but we have to do that. We have to support our businesses, and we have to make sure that we, engage with each other and spend money with each other. That's important. That's really important. So I know over break, Francis, we were talking about a couple of things, and I think you brought up a point on the Will Smith situation as it continues to progress. It's dying out a little bit more, which I appreciate the media for that. But we like to keep you guys abreast, keep you up to date on what's going on. So you were saying that apparently they were trying to remove Will Smith's Men in Black statues or his content, any content with him on it concerning Men in Black
Yes.
out of Universal Studios.
Yes.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. So what's progressed on that? What's happening?
It was just a brief little article about it, stating that, they want to remove him from Universal Studios because of the assault at the Academy Awards.
Right. So what do you think they're going to do about that? Do you think there's something's going to come out of that, or?
I'm not too sure. I think it's still too soon to say.
So why we bring it up?
Well, that it's out there that it possibly could go on.
I'm just teasing. No, but that's classic, right? Like that's what they do. It's funny
fans,
because
the fans are begging Universal Studios to remove.
Oh, to remove them. That don't sound like a fan to me.
Attraction.
That don't sound like a fan to me.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess
that sounds like an enemy.
I guess former fans, but
yeah, that's deep. It seemed like it seems like they about to get a divorce too, huh?
You never know
I hope
with them
so.
Too. You never know with them.
I hope so. And I don't say that I'm not an advocate of divorce.
It's not working. It's not working.
My God. Can you say that again? When it's not working,
it's not working.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's a whole nother subject though.
Yeah, when it's not working, it's not working.
Marriage and the conception that you have to stay married to someone once you marry them, despite things aren't working out.
Despite.
Like, I have to be miserable for the rest of my life.
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. You had people years ago were able to be married for, even now, people are still married for 86 years or 56 years. It's just more easier to throw a relationship away and find something new instead of just trying to build and try to learn one another.
So why not take the easy road in this hard life? Why stay with somebody? Why stay with somebody that's really getting on your nerves?
I mean, that
you really don't like no more.
I don't disagree with that, but if both
you actually really
are,
do like them, because if they can get on your nerves that much, you really do love them.
You think so? I didn't say I didn't love them.
You love them and you like them.
You love them and you like them?
Yeah. I don't disagree with that as long as both parties are in agreement
That they both love each other and don't like each other.
that they want to do whatever it takes to stay together or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
But when both parties aren't in agreement with that, that's where I have the issue.
yeah.
If both parties are willing to fight it out to the end, then okay, that's your choice. But if both parties aren't in agreement,
Yeah, it takes two.
it definitely takes two for a marriage to work. Or a
It actually
partnership
takes
to
three.
work.
God,
Right.
the wife, and the husband.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
It works
So,
when you have this.
so if everyone isn't in agreement, then that's the issue that I have.
That's the issue that I have as well, true, with marriage. You got to be on the same page.
Absolutely.
And if you're
With
not on the
whatever
same
you're trying to
page,
do.
whatever you're trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not, then that's where the issue comes in.
sayonara.
Then you have to figure out why you're not on the same page.
Right. And if
I
it's-
think
and
that
if it's out-
when you're not on the same page, there's someone trying to make you not on the same page. See, when you get off the page, even getting off the page, it took two to get off the page. Something stopped. So whether it's communication,
Mhm.
whether it's interaction, engagement,
Mhm.
but when you know, and two, you can tell in a relationship the differences that are occurring in the relationship and the momentum that it's taking, whether it's good or bad. And so when someone then doesn't communicate with you well in that time, they're clearly showing that they're not trying to make it work. Now they could say they're trying to make it work, but when you were trying to make it work, you didn't communicate that way. You communicated differently. And one is intelligent enough to know at what time in which they started changing their communication.
Right.
And one will then be intelligent enough to know that they probably need to go back to how they were communicating before, or it's not going to work. It
That's
doesn't take rocket
That's
science.
that new stuff. Okay, I'm pretty sure people in the 40s weren't thinking like
Ooh, that's a whole nother conversation.
that.
Because
That's the
Well,
this was such a
that's the
different
news
time.
cycle for relationships. What you're saying.
It was
well,
a different time.
Back in the
though.
40s, 50s, 60s, people weren't
well,
thinking like that.
this is 2022.
Exactly, and that's
We
the
have
reason
all
why.
the best ways to communicate.
And
What
a
I
lot of women
But see,
didn't have
most of the communication devices that you have
we can barely hear you, I think.
is the reason why
Okay.
relationships are the way they are today. You had maybe a house phone, telephone in your home. You didn't have cell phones. If you worked at home, if you stayed at home, if you were a home wife, you stayed at home. You did what you're supposed to do. Your husband came home. It was no questioning where has he been or anything like that. The roles have changed to where in some relationships the man is the woman and the woman is the man.
What man in
So-
a relationship is a woman?
Meaning that the communication is crossed.
Well, if that's the case, you need a different woman
So, but
or you need a different man. Because if I get talked to
you
like
have
I'm
a lot of
female,
men that
we're gonna
stay at
have a
home
problem.
now. You have a lot of men
Most
that
people
stay at home
work from
now.
home. I work from home.
But you
I'm
have
talking about like a
men
stay at
now,
home dad.
and the woman
Or-
goes to work.
Where?
Where?
So you mean a dude works from home, now he's in a feminine position versus a woman that just gets
Or
in the
he
car
could
and goes
just
to
be
work?
at home, not working.
Who does that?
Maybe at least about 1.2
Okay, so now we're going into the specifics of
million people
relationships
in
of
the
saying
world.
That's interesting. I want to
So when
get her
you
take on.
when you talk about communicate, if the roles have reversed, the woman is out and the man is in the home. Prior to that, it was reversed. The man was out, the woman was in the home. So the woman is going to be expecting the man to do all the things that she should have
V.
done.
So
Clean, watch the kids,
nah,
keep
nah,
the
V.
house clean,
Well, that's
have
not.
dinner ready.
No. I
Oh,
get
yeah.
you, but you leading a road somewhere where it's different than what the topic was. The topic was we're talking about making it work in a relationship, and the two making it work from off of what you said. I'm more so talking about the communication. When people want it to work, going off your comment, if they want it to work, they got to be on the same page. Whether you in the house, out the house, whether you watching the kids, not watching the kids. What I'm saying is when you want it to work, you communicate properly for it to work. If you don't want it to work, I don't care where you are in the planet, you communicate in a way that it doesn't work. 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, people that have been getting divorced since the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010, 2022, there's a communication breakdown first. So in a relationship, if you want to make it work, you got to get on the same page from a communication standpoint. I don't care what year you're in or what situation you're in, it starts with communication. Hello, good morning. How are you? How's your day? Need some eggs? Want some bacon? Can you cook me some eggs? You want to go to the gym? You want to go hiking? You want to go to work? Communication. No communication. And communication is bad. It's sayonara. I don't care if it's the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2050. Period. You have to have good communication. It's the whole point.
I agree with
of
the
what I'm saying.
communication.
That's all I'm saying. All those other things.
But your expectations are
Good morning.
no.
Ooh.
That's a natural thing. It's just
It should be
waiting.
natural.
Yeah,
It should be natural for
those
you
are
to say
things
good
that-
morning.
Those are the things that you're talking about are normal to
Oh,
do. They're not,
okay.
oh.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't have that, if you can't do that, then what are you doing? You're intentionally not doing it because it's natural. It's innate to say when you walk down the street and you see somebody pass you, it's innate for you to say hi. Some people.
Right.
I know anytime I see a black person, no matter where I'm at, because most of the time when I'm traveling, I don't see a lot of black people. So I'm happy when I get to a point where if I go home, I can see my folks. Because sometimes even when I go in a mall and I walk past somebody and I see that they're black, I'm gonna wait for the nod. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna pass them. What up? It's innate. It's innate. So it depends on what type of person you are. So when you know you're that type of person, to want to engage, to want to connect, people that don't, they just don't, right? They just don't want to connect, or they just are adverse to the connection.
Or it was a break in the connection. It once was a connection and something happened where the connection was broken.
Yeah, obviously,
but that's
right?
going
So
further past.
I'm still saying if you
that's
want to
still
fix
a
it,
communication.
it's still
thing.
if you want to fix it, doesn't matter. What if it's broke, then it's broke, right? But the fact of the matter is that you can have a broken communication and know that the communication is broken, and then say, okay, let's fix it, and then actually do what it takes to fix it. You don't just work on it. Nah. Good morning. If you're at a point where you can't say good morning, okay.
I guess,
But I don't think it should get that far.
Man, you got to talk louder.
I don't think it should get that far.
It doesn't matter what you think. If it's there, all I'm saying is it takes two people.
But there should be other signs before it gets to
It's
that
not
point.
about the sign.
So where
Fine,
you can
signs and wonders.
correct it before you even stop saying good morning to one another. If you are
It doesn't.
equally yoked from the beginning.
Oh man, come on now. Fine, but if you got kids, if you got a mortgage, if you got houses, and you get to that point in that relationship, all I'm saying is that both parties, if they're off the page to a point, is getting on the same page and saying, okay, good morning. Step one.
You are
Jesus.
something else.
How am I? Oh, I'm something else for asking for good
Just
morning.
going in a circle.
How is that? That's ridiculous.
You are.
If you good morning, is that not a good start?
It is a good start, but
Okay.
like she said, that may be your normal. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's really
If you were
process is
communicating and saying good morning, both, and
right?
sometimes they said it before you said it. You
Right.
weren't even trying to say good morning. Then they start saying good morning to you. Now you're saying good morning to them. Now you're good morning each other. And then you're not good morning each other anymore. But you say you want it to work. All I'm saying is it starts with communication first.
Mhm.
And it can definitely be a breakdown in something that
Somewhere.
great, yeah, but that's obvious, right? I don't pull up to the car station with my tire going like this, and then the guy said, "Well, what is it? Your axle?" No, you can see my tires flat. All I'm saying is that when getting to your point, when you want to make something work,
It will work.
it'll work, and
But
it starts
when you
with.
don't,
And when you
it
don't,
won't.
you talk like
it won't.
you talk like you don't. And when you talk like you don't, but you say I want it to work, that don't make no sense. It don't make no sense.
And it
I
has
don't
to be-
care. I don't care what your day is like today.
And it has to be
Your
both
boss
parties.
call you, you're gonna be like, "Hey, how are you?" Somebody you have who you think has authority over you
Mhm.
that can do something in your life for you, and you kissing. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Okay, maybe I'm a little bit off today.
You are.
Oh, getting back to my original point.
Tell me why you mad, son. Tell me why you mad. It just don't
It's
make
just-
sense to me.
But
You
it
wanna
has to
make
be
it
both
work.
parties.
It has to be both parties that want to make it work. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And if it's not, then it won't work.
Right. Because you don't start any communicate. You meet somebody, what you say? Hi, hello,
How you doing?
how you doing? Okay. So I'm off on that.
No. That's
Okay.
something normal. I mean,
Okay.
you gotta go a little bit deeper than that.
I'm not going to. I'll get banned.
Because
I'm not going to.
That's
really just very simple.
It's very
that's the-
simple.
That's the gist of the. That's kind of the gist of my point, which is kind of the end all. We can get into a whole bunch of scenarios and,
We'll
and
get
we
into
can talk
one.
it. We
You have
can
to.
talk
You need
about
to.
it. Yeah, I'm right. We can because I'm definitely
Just
here for the
little
conversation.
Hey,
Right. I'm just here. I'm definitely here
want
for the
pizza.
conversation. We can. But I'm just saying in any scenario, if both parties don't want to make it work, it won't work. And that's
and relating
the final.
to what
We're talking about.
example?
We're talking about.
Give an example of that.
I can give plenty examples.
Give one.
Do we have time? Are we going into Are we going into commercial? Then we
Hot
can get
ready
into
is ready. If Little Caesar's about to drop off that pizza, no.
We can get into it when we come back.
Because you want the pizza, don't you? I won't
I
take
gotta
it.
do, but
No,
I definitely
but-
want to. I
but
definitely want to
conversation-
get into it with we can converse and have a little conversation about this. It's very
Yeah.
interesting. I wouldn't
Yeah,
engage.
It's deep. All I'm saying is, if you want something to work, make it work. That's it. Or move. Like,
You
just
gotta
don't.
put in the work to make it work.
Man,
Both
look.
parties.
Both. BOTH. It's not one sided. You can't just, all of a sudden, man, trust me, women
Whatever
talk
your
about this all the
dynamic
time.
is.
I ain't do, trust me, it's something about you that I didn't like. Please believe it. Please.
vice
And I just didn't tell you because I like you.
And vice versa.
And vice versa.
But if you married, then hold on.
Married is different,
But you
dog.
were talking about
Married is different.
marriage and being divorced.
That's why I'm almost
Yeah,
to a
See,
point.
you're talking about
see-
just a
but see,
sounding
that's-
like a temporary little fling or relationship, 6-month relationship.
Man, you don't know. No.
Yeah,
No.
obviously,
That's your
what
interpretation.
That's what it
Talking about
sounds
marriage.
like.
We talking about marriage.
That's what the original.
And we was talking about divorce.
It's
And I'm
divorce. So if what you saying sounds like someone that's been in a relationship for, like I said, just a fling or 6 months, because a communication will break down in those short months. If you're not,
Communication breaks down after
if-
20 years, 10 years, 5 years, 8 and a half.
you still go communicate with your partner.
What?
That's not.
That's who said you're not
That's
gonna
my
communicate? We
opinion.
said break
That's
down.
my opinion.
Then why people get divorced after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years?
It depends on the
Exactly, and
situation.
it's all in
It could
communication.
be they were never supposed to
So you
get
said
married in the
communication's the
beginning.
roots.
You know, it could be
To all
financial.
evil, it ain't money.
It could
It's
be
communication.
financial issues that they
It's
get divorced.
communication.
It could be actually, you know, a woman can't bear a child, so she feels insecure. That could cause a divorce.
Well, we can rule that one out.
You know, it's a man could be cheating and have other kids. It's a lot of reasons why people get divorces. It's just not that they don't communicate at all or they stop.
Communication is the number one rule, is the number one breakdown of relationships. Ask any psychologist on the planet. Number one is communication. 9 times out of 10, if both parties wanted to make it work, you could possibly go to counseling and I guarantee you it will work.
No,
It's a-
but
but
it,
it's a
it also has to
communication
take
breakdown.
two people
We
to
just said
do
that.
that. Yeah.
Why are you arguing with me? We saying the same thing. You just want to oppose.
This,
Yes.
this,
Okay.
This is interesting. Now look up some statistics on what you just said.
But
Sam.
just
Francis
rec-
ain't gonna look up no statistics because she gonna make sure she right. See, she the ones that bring up the topic, so she gonna hold them statistics back, and we're gonna lose this debate. I don't like nobody today.
because
No, man.
just recently it's like that. Divorces. So
What are you talking about? People been getting divorced.
yeah.
Women been drugged down the street, all type of bull crap, and they couldn't get divorced. It's good that you can get divorced now and actually have a right to be able to prepare. You know,
That's one of the points I was going to make.
yeah, like
Before even the 50s, women didn't really have a lot of rights, let alone a lot to say. Because, you know, this was a different time. We're more educated now. We have more resources that's available to us.
What does that have to do
It-
with marriage?
Well, we're talking about the time. You were saying like the 40s and the 50s. You know, I've asked a few older couples that was born during that time, and what they stated to me was, you know, and this is where I got my own opinion about what I just said from is talking to these different couples, and you know, they admitted that, you know, people
They didn't
want to
like each
say,
other?
people want to say, well, why marriages don't last like they used to? Well, we can 50% of it. You know, I'm talking to these older couples. You know, the women and the men, you know, admitted, hey, if I had if I had now what I had back then, I would have been left.
See, my take, I've talked to older couples that have been married over 60, almost 80 something years, and I asked, what's your secret to
Mhm.
staying married so long? They said, of course, the number one is communicate
oh,
and never go to bed angry at each other.
So communication was what they said.
well, you got to be with
Push back
somebody that
to-
don't want to be angry with you.
Yeah. So yeah.
Sometimes people their personalities is like that.
I mean, I got, you know what, Sam, he on the road today. But I do agree with Francis because I did get some of those. But then on the flip side, I got some people that admitted, of course, they didn't, you know, it wasn't to their favor, their liking, but some did admit, like Francis said, and then some admitted, like, hey, if I had a choice, I would have been left. I would have been did this because I didn't have this. I wasn't educated. I started having children right away. And a lot of people left the South and came up north. And then when they came up north and their husbands got a job in the automotive industry, and then they got up here and got wild, and they had families on different sides of towns. And when he passed away, you found out he had a whole nother family, 4 or 5 kids on the other side of town that that nobody never knew about.
But was he happy?
Of course, he was happy,
Well,
but You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them admitted that if they had the
that's the
resources
strategy.
and things that they had now, they would not have stayed like they did.
You know,
But those were the negative, those were they didn't have good experiences in their marriages. For the ones that Francis are talking about, they did have good experiences.
Good experiences enough to stay.
But that attests to to my point. They made a conscious, both parties made a conscious decision to make it work. And that's why it lasted 40, 50, 60 years, because they both wanted to make it work.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
it's National Pinata Day.
Now that could probably keep your marriage together. When you get in an argument, you know what? Hang the pinata.
Right.
You know they got those places too. Shouts out to all the pinata beaters.
Pinata beaters. Make me a pinata filled with money.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't want quarters and pennies, though. Knock yourself out.
Filled with money.
Money, cash money,
Cash.
5, 10s, 20s, 25,
No, it
30,
don't even
35,
matter.
40, 45, 50.
It could be 1 to 100. It don't matter.
1 to 100. No doubt. So it's National Pinata Day.
Yes.
Who ordained the day National Pinata Day? What country does that come from? I asked only because I love you.
It just has to come from a country.
I'm sure. I mean, to make it something a holiday, it has to be. I would think it had to come from.
It
a
was
country.
started in it actually was started in 2016 by an artist.
From what country?
It doesn't give that information.
All right. Good job, though. You held your own.
It actually does.
It does.
So this is the day that's set aside to make piñatas and kind of, I guess.
Yeah, the first piñata was believed to be made in China for New Year's.
Of course, it was made in China. Where do you think it was made? It has great texture.
And then Marco Polo brought them to Italy in the 13th century.
Yeah,
Wow.
because usually it's like a nylon silk,
And
and that's kind of mostly
became recognized as part of
Okay,
Mexican
yeah.
culture
nylon
in the
yeah.
16th century.
Yeah, of course.
Right, that's what I was thinking. So it originates. Okay.
And there's also other holidays as well today. You have National Animal Cracker Day.
National Animal Cracker Day.
Wow.
Oh man.
I'm
Yeah,
not
so
gonna deal
go
with
get
that.
a box of animal crackers.
Do you like animal crackers?
Yeah.
I love animal
What
crackers.
other
I ain't
national
seen.
day is it today? What's some other
Yeah.
national animal
Paul.
day? It should be a national please someone today day.
So I was reading that dolphins actually
It should be National Say Good Morning Day.
I was actually
Doesn't
reading
make any
that
sense,
dolphins deliberately get high off of puffer fish
Do they?
because they release nerve toxins. And so they'll chew on it for a little bit and then pass it to the next buddy of theirs and they'll chew on it for a little bit. So they're getting high out there. Maybe that's the reason why their voices are a little like
You took us down that entire road just to make a voice joke. All righty. Okay. At that point right there, I think it's time for us to definitely go to break and regroup. This is the Hot 93.97 Jada Great Show. You tuned in live to the Samuel Takeover. I'm here with True Mahogany and Francis, aka Francine. Make sure you go down to the App Store or the Play Store and download the 93.97 app. Type in 93.97 Network.
it's just Francis.
And you will definitely be able to download the app and listen to us all times and receive great rewards and loyalty promotions.
Download the app.
All right, we're going to get into Feel It by Portugal the Man. Holla. We'll be right back.
Madero on Monday.
Madero. What does that mean? Madero. Don't have me saying that on air. I get messages.
You can't say that's the word for Modelo. The
Oh.
beer.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite beers. Shout out to their ad campaign, man. The Madero, the Modelo. I'm gonna say it like we say it.
Like we said.
Shouts out to Modelo.
Yeah.
Beer that's slightly yellow. No. Thanks for backing me up on that.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. That's when you know you're around family.
I know. I need to call your manager.
Call my manager. It's just gonna ring to my phone.
That part.
Yeah, that part. So, if you're on the East Coast right now, it's 1:12. You just finished your lunch, and I'm wondering how you feeling right now at your desk. Or if you at home, then it's probably still on the dining room table, or maybe you ate in the family room with a tray. Is it normal for people to eat in the family room with trays?
Is it normal?
Yeah.
In the family room? In the family room?
While you watching
trays?
TV?
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And everybody have their little dinner tray and
Yeah.
eating. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
My
it's-
bad.
it's-
Just moving along.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Just moving along.
I said I was going to get some trays to sit in my living room. Instead of just eating on the couch, get some trays. I said I was going to get
Yeah,
some
I
trays.
can't eat on the couch. Everything will be on the couch. I had to put a sheet down
Everything would be
over
on
the
the couch.
before I eat. Especially if you go over like your parents' house. You ever been to your parents' house? They got that plastic all over. I know my great grandmother,
Man,
my great
who
grandmother,
didn't
and my
have
grandmother.
plastic on their couches coming up. Who didn't have plastic?
They take that
on
serious, man. Super serious.
It was when it was in the summertime, it was hot. So that plastic, it all stuck. Mm-mm.
Right to the ball.
I didn't sit on them in the
Clean it.
summertime. I didn't sit on them summertime.
You ain't
I
on
didn't feel.
something?
I didn't feel.
Yeah.
Nope.
What's your like favorite? What's your favorite thing to do in the summertime?
Oh, my favorite thing to do. I love bike riding.
You like riding bikes?
I do.
Love riding bikes too.
I love bike riding. And I
I do
love
too.
sightseeing.
Sightseeing, like where you like to go?
Anywhere I haven't seen before.
That sums it up. Folks. For real though, like
maybe
that's a
driving
good.
along the coast or driving along a beach.
Yep.
Or taking me to some historical city. When I went to Puerto Rico for the first time for Juneteenth. That's the day they declared Juneteenth a national holiday. I arrived the day before. It was a cousin's trip. And we went to Old San Juan.
Oh yeah, cobblestone streets.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Old San Juan.
Yeah. Did you walk up and see the pier and you see the gun, like the old gun things? It sits right there and you see where the ship comes up. And
We were
Oh,
in
San
San Juan. We ate at the restaurant that was off of the water. I
Yeah,
don't know. We didn't. Yeah.
they sit right there and then you got across the street and then the water's right there.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I didn't go to that particular location that you were saying, but we walked through there, and it was just when you're driving in there, you see the old military base.
Yeah, right there to the right.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was, it's just it's
And you
in
see-
ruins, but
All those, it's like all those, and then it sits right there. On
Right.
The, yeah.
and we actually took a group photo shoot on one of these cobble streets that went upward. It looked like we were in the alley of a 007 movie. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it looks like Italy or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just the old military, but the ruins. I mean, it was just so
It's beautiful.
nostalgic. It was
It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
And I said next time I go, I want to actually stay in Old San Juan.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Oh,
wanna-
I don't know about that.
Like stay there. Do they have Airbnbs in Old San
Oh
Juan?
yeah. So so
They
I
weren't
went
too
to
friendly though.
I went to Puerto Rico in 2019 on a business trip, and I had a scheduled Airbnb, and I got there
Oh, my
to
goodness.
in country, And I phoned a friend
Okay.
who was familiar with the Puerto Rican landscape.
Okay.
And I sent them my locale for my Airbnb. And it was a nice Airbnb. I was escorted there by cab. And I was told that I should probably relocate out of that Airbnb by nightfall, because that side of town turns into something else in the evening. So I ended up staying at the Trip Win Resorts. But that was after, yeah, so I literally lost my, and I had it booked for that whole trip. But that was right after the hurricane, too. So
What did it really
What did
turn
it turn
into?
into after? Like, I mean, after.
that.
Oh, war zone.
Yeah, pretty much. Because at that particular time, that's when Trump was in office. Puerto Rico was looking for funds. Trump wasn't distributing the funds because Puerto Rico, here's a fun fact. Puerto Rico has a very big significance and role in the United States. One, that's where all our pension funds are held. Ooh. And they hold all of our birth certificates.
Really?
Yeah.
So why isn't Puerto Rico a part of the United States then? We have a military presence there.
Because they're
Yeah.
agriculturally enriched. And we couldn't keep Puerto Rico enslaved if we did not continue to supersede their government by lack of funding. What do you mean? What I mean by that is, I'll just give you an example. If you're a farmer and you're in Puerto Rico and you grew some vegetables, right, in your backyard, rich soil, right? You saw it when you flew in, you looked over the water while you came in, you saw it, okay. Beautiful. If you grew some tomatoes in your backyard and I'm your neighbor and I want to buy your tomatoes, it's illegal for you to sell me those tomatoes before those tomatoes are sent to America to be stamped and approved by the FDA and sent back. Straight face. You see my face? Straight face. You want to talk about some gangster-ish. Now, why won't they change that? Because Puerto Rico says, we're not going to give you back that contract that allows us to hold your pensions and your birth certificates.
Mm-hmm.
And so the government said, well, then we're not going to allow you to sell apples, oranges, and your produce to your neighbors. Yeah.
So how are they benefiting from holding our birth certificates and our pension? How are they financially benefiting? Because I was talking to some natives there.
They're not.
They're really poor there.
But
their minimum wage is not over $7.15.
Well,
they don't even. When I was there, I was talking to those folks.
The minimum wage hasn't been raised in like almost 20 years.
Well, the people there probably don't know that they hold,
well, the natives was
pension fund. Their government does. The government will keep them for.
When I was talking to a native that actually took me to their mall and brought me back, and I was asking him questions, and he was saying that it's like 49% of them want to become a state, and 51% doesn't.
Yeah,
because they don't want, the people wants America to come in and the housing and everything,
Sure.
the streets and everything will change, but the
Sure.
government doesn't want to be a part of the United States.
No.
They don't want them to come in and take over everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the people are
So-
suffering.
Fun facts
But technically,
from that trip. Fun facts. San Juan is absolutely gorgeous. The people of Puerto Rico are gorgeous too.
Yeah, they're not too friendly though.
They were super friendly. Are you serious?
Yeah,
You felt that? You felt they weren't friendly?
they weren't. I felt
You didn't think Santa Monica people was friendly. You didn't think Puerto Rico people. You didn't think they were. They were probably
No.
some of the most friendly people.
you're the first person
Except-
I've ever heard.
Now
say that.
hold on.
You're closer to their complexion. I'm not.
There was
That
some
doesn't
there
have
was
anything
black
to do
black
with
Puerto
it.
Ricans
I did
there.
not. I was.
They were
not
kind of. They
friendly.
did kind of look like more me.
They were
Well,
not friendly.
where
to
did you
me.
go?
Well, I was in Puerto Rico. I was in Old San Juan. We
Yeah.
were everywhere. Like they were.
Well,
You know,
where
they
did
were-
you go? Like, what type of stores or hotels or restaurants did you go that they weren't friendly?
I want to. Okay. Cause where did we stay? I can look out of my balcony and see the ocean. That's how close we were to it. We were.
Did you stay in Puerto Rico?
Yes, we were in Puerto Rico.
Were you on the? Were you by the resorts? Did you see a whole bunch of hotels?
Yes.
Okay, so then you were on the
You know,
San Juan. If you're on island, San Juan is across. You have to go across
Yeah.
to. Okay, I know.
Yeah.
So you stayed over by like.
Where we rode down, we rode the little scooters down because we were in
Yeah.
one end, and then my sister in the hotel was down the
Okay.
other end where their beach. I forget where they were staying, but their backyard
Yeah.
where it was a pool, and then you go past
You-
the pool, and it actually went down into the water.
So you
like
stayed on the
beach.
southwest side of Puerto Rico, because San Juan, I believe, is northeast. Because that's where I stayed.
I mean, they were cordial, but they weren't super friendly. They were cordial because they had to be. But the people
Yeah, it's a
that
tourist. It's a tourist country.
But they weren't like
They've been through a lot.
super friendly. They weren't.
So if you went in 2020, it's interesting. They've been through a lot. I was there in 2019. So fun facts. Interesting. Here you go. So, and I went down there to do some research for a private company
Okay.
to see whether or not that private entity wanted to invest funds into the rebuilding of PR.
Okay.
Shouts out to all my Puerto Rican friends too. Love y'all. Anyway. So 6 months before, and so these are some things I want y'all to catch this real quick. See if you can catch it. I know you will. 6 months before the hurricane, our military was there.
Okay.
6 months before the hurricane, FEMA has sent down supplies to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
That's set in base. When the hurricane came, the hurricane showed up. The first round, and you said, wait a minute, what do you mean first round? I'm about to tell you. The first round of that hurricane missed the island. Literally broke just a couple windows.
Okay.
Immediately after the passing of that hurricane, news reports stated that there was going to be a second hurricane,
Okay.
and everybody should brace
Okay.
within 3 days. Yep, I'm being silent for a second. When in the hell have you ever heard a hurricane hitting twice? Okay.
Not in 3 days. Definitely not in 3 days.
Okay. So, the second hurricane shows up, true,
Mhm.
and misses all of the top hotels. Literally a couple broken windows, but destroys 40% of the mainland infrastructure. Now, I don't know about you, and I don't know if you watch football at all, but I would consider that targeting. So you say, well, how do they do that? They don't know. HARP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a device that can manipulate the weather.
Okay. Okay. So that's what happened in Puerto Rico. Documented. Again, I know we have our conversations, but the whole point, and I get to this point and I think about it before I start saying it, right? But this is why I'm on the show. Straight up. To expose these things. Thank you, Jay the Great, for giving me the ability to really just air it out. Because that's really what happened. And I ain't talking about just not talking to the natives.
Right.
I'm talking about talking to government officials. I'm talking about talking to law enforcement. Yeah. And they said that second hurricane was the most unnatural winds that they had ever. So it was like a whipping push. It didn't feel real. And so I had
it's still damaging. I think Puerto Rico's not up to it's still not up to this full capacity yet.
No.
Is it?
But what it did was it created a amazing opportunity for private investment sector. And it allowed them to continue to stay independent, but it put them into a position. Well, it was supposed to put them in a position where they had to come and beg. Because not only do we tear down your infrastructure, we also are holding your agricultural product, your suite of agricultural products. So it was almost an attempt, a coup, for them to say uncle.
It was a
And he hailed the president. Hailed steadfast. What's interesting about that, though, is that Puerto Rico also doesn't want to deal with us because of the stuff that goes on in their government. Now, I get there to the hotel, and a friend of mine, shouts out to Kim Kaz, you know who you are. She works for T-Mobile. T-Mobile had an event, coincidentally, the same weekend I went to Puerto Rico. Who knew?
you.
Shouts out to T-Mobile. So their hotel that they're having their event in, I shoot down the road after I've moved from the Airbnb to the Trip Win. Shouts out to the Puerto Rican Trip Win. Love you guys, and also Enterprise treated me right. I get there, no bull. This fine waitress come up. Her name's Nicole. Now, what's interesting is this. I sat at this table with a hoodie on. Right? I just got off the plane. I got my hoodie. It's a gray hoodie. And I had on a black and red True Religion hat. Right? And she comes up and she started talking to me. Come to find out, she worked for the Navy. Now, here's the thing. I leave my charger there in the wall. I saw Kim. What up? Good to see you. I see you later. We're going to go to dinner. I leave my charger there. That night, I'm at the Trip Win Hotel. I think I gave Nicole my number. She got mine. But she don't know where I'm at. I don't think.
But she does.
I'm at the computer. And she ends up, hold on, I have to adjust something. She ends up, I'm at the business center down in the front. I'm at the business center and I'm on a computer like this. And I see somebody come up, but I didn't look up. She goes to the front desk. She says, yes, is there a Samuel Davis here? I look up. I said, Nicole. She said, hey. She said, you forgot your charger. When she says that and does this, 2 guys show up with M16s. And they're standing there just like this up against the wall in fatigues. And she said, I'm sorry. I said, it's all good. I said, let me show you. Because I already knew what was up. And it was the report I was doing on the fact that they were getting screwed. And she read it and literally was in tears. It was 10 pages at that time. This is later that night. I did all my recon. She read the 10 pages, was in tears, walked away, dudes left. So here's the thing. I have no idea. So here's the thing. Puerto Rico don't want us there. Now, why? 6 months before the hurricane, I don't know how we got on Puerto Rico, but 6 months before the hurricane, we're there with supplies. It took almost a year for those supplies to reach the people. They were wrapped literally to get, you could only get $20 worth of gas per car. They would be in line for 5-6 hours just to get gas. Now, and you know, power goes out in and out in Puerto Rico. You know where the power doesn't go out? The Trip Win, the Sheraton, the Hilton. That's why I won't stay in the Airbnbs. Back to your point. Okay. But you know who did have power too? Church's Chicken. You know they got Church's. You know they got Burger King, right? You know they got Wendy's. You know who didn't lose power to? Walmart. Yeah. So shouts out to Puerto Rico for fighting for their independence, man. That's tough.
Yeah.
So listening to this whole scenario, she knew who you were when she walked up to you.
She knew exactly who I was. Always. That's why when you see me saying, and I mean, it's fine. We can have this conversation. It's on me now. We can talk about that off air. Yeah.
I have so many questions.
Yeah.
I'll hold them.
Yeah, you hold them to off air
Right.
because I won't answer them live. That's why this is participating on this show is not about wanting to be a radio personality. It's not about wanting to be out in the open. It's not about expressing my views. It's about sharing my experiences. That's 1,000% experiences. Wisdom, experiences did it. And we need to know. And we kick push Lupe around some things. Francis knows me for a long time.
Yeah.
She knows about some of the stuff I did and some of the stuff she don't know.
Right? You don't want to know.
And she keeps me. So that's why I have a very trusted ally pulling up the topics. And if I feel comfortable in going into that, I'll go into it. I felt comfortable about that because the people of Puerto Rico are very, very near and dear to my heart. I know people from Puerto Rico and the United States that I absolutely love. Okay, just make sure I can spell it. You feel something well, I'm like, nigga, is that you? Oh, it's all my bad. Excuse me. But yeah. So anyway, yeah. So we got any other topics?
Well, since we on traveling, we can always talk about the 10 most haunted cities in America.
The 10 most haunted cities in America.
Yeah, since we're
The
talking
10
about
most
that.
haunted cities in America.
I've always wanted to,
All right.
to know a little bit of information.
So I know. I
about
bet
that.
you this. I bet you one of those is Alton, Illinois. How much you want to bet?
It's
Is
in
Alton on that list? Alton. Illinois.
It just says Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. Yup. For sure. Shouts out to all the ghosts in Chicago. That's not holy.
You have New Orleans, Louisiana.
For sure.
Again, Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago's number 2.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's Alton.
Haunted cities?
Listen.
Why?
What? New
Chicago?
Orleans?
No, Chicago.
Yes, it's Alton, Illinois.
Well, Al Capone, it has to do with the Valentine Day
Massacre.
you know.
So they spin that off, yeah.
And then
But Alton, Illinois.
What happened in
Oh God.
I'm taking you've been.
Of course I have. I lived in Missouri for 4 years. St. Louis. I was working at a VC firm. And one of our clients was a liquor company. Shouts out to Mastermind Vodka. Go to mastermindvodkausa.com. I still got stock in them. All right. So Alton was literally the town next to Pontoon Beach, Illinois, where Mastermind Vodka resides.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And please get there to do your tours. Go tour the distillery down there. Tell Carl that Sam sent you. Get you a nice discount on the bottle of Mastermind Vodka, please. 4% of those proceeds go to me. All right. There's my sponsor. There you go. There you go. So, yeah, so
Come on, get it out.
yeah, so we go to Alton one night. Listen, man. We go to Alton one night, and Alton, Illinois is fun, right? But it's a different type of fun than Alton True.
Okay.
It's a different type of fun.
What type of fun is that?
Oh my darling, Clementine, right? So I'm just saying for my folks, for our listening, bro, it's a different type of fun, but it's super fun. You can go bull riding, you can do all type of stuff. You can go cow tipping, you can do the dang on thing, like natural outside
Activity.
fun, like actually have fun in nature. You know what I mean? But they also have ghosts. So we're at a
Why do they have those? What happened there?
It was like a old train.
Okay, that's a train.
Stop.
Because I was going to say, was it that theater where it was a tragic fire?
Yes, it was.
In 1903.
In 1903. Yep. Oh, you were looking it up.
And H.H. Holmes.
And
he was
H.H.
a serial killer.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yes. Yes. He literally picked the people off from the train. Oh yeah, it goes down in Alton. So they don't do that no more.
But look,
I made it out.
Huh? They actually have a documentary on H.H. Holmes.
Yeah.
He was that real deal.
He was that real deal serial killer.
Yeah.
He was smooth. He was smoother than.
And he wasn't from Illinois either.
No.
He was from, I believe, New York.
Yeah. Straight pick them off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So that's why Alton was like that. But anyway, that night, I think I took my truck. So I drove that night. I think I was with a couple folks from Mastermind Vodka. So they had met me over at the bar. And we were driving back. We stopped at I was with my friend at the time. Oh no, I was with some black people. My bad. So yeah, because I just remember what happened. So I was with some black folks, but some of our white friends showed up, and we went into a bar that's pretty much kind of like all white, but it's some black folks in Alton. At any rate, we go off to this bonfire, and we're kind of like in the woods, and I had to go, pay the water bill. Long story short. And I had to pay the water bill by some trees
Mhm.
out like going into a forest, right? And I'm sure it's not like a real forest, but it's like a forest. You get the picture. Well, I got there and I got out safely. I went to the bathroom and went. But then my friend went after me, right? And they went a little bit deeper into the trees.
Well, you know, there is a haunted forest in
Also,
Illinois.
okay.
So that's probably the
well,
yeah,
so check it out.
there's a forest
They
in
went
And this
So
dude is
further.
not. This dude is not the type of dude. Well, I'm gonna just say he used to play for the Rams.
Okay.
I ain't gonna tell you who it is.
So
He's still in the NFL.
scared easily.
Nah, he about 6'5", 285 pounds. He's an offensive lineman. All right,
He ain't never
and he's
scared.
a pretty good offensive lineman. I'll tell you that. I'm not gonna tell you who it is.
He never scared.
Okay, this dude came out running a 4.440. So a 4.440 is like what you see NFL players, like the wide receivers, the really good players in the NFL that catch the ball and then they dance in the end zone. They run the speed of a 4 point. They can run 40 yards in 4.4 seconds, right? So I'm just saying he fast.
Yeah.
This dude came out blazing,
Like fire on his butt.
blazing. Said he saw 3 spirits that were about 7-8 feet tall come over to him, and then he actually felt like something grab him, like grab his arm, and he whisked away and bucked the hell out of there.
Dang.
So because of
Let
that
me ask you.
interaction,
If it would have happened to you, would you have let them grab you and just try to talk to him, or would you have ran away? Curious.
I would have done what a 6'5", 285-pound lineman would do at that point, and probably do the same thing. If he didn't feel encouraged enough that he could overtake those 3 spirits, surely, although I'm pretty fast and athletic and strong, folks wouldn't think that I could bench press 285, 260. I'm in the gym and I got 60s and 70s up there. I will put you in the ground.
He said
But
they
the
were
fact-
7 to 8 feet tall.
7 to 8 feet tall, 3 spirits, grabbed him by his shirt. He whips away and he bucked the hell out of there. And needless to say, I had a half drink Heineken on there and a shot of whiskey that I did not finish. And we left. Now, unfortunately for the homeowner, they had to stay. And they were like, no, man, that's you guys. Everybody says those are haunted by the. And they just chilling. I'm just looking at them like, man, y'all starting to remind me of like the children of the corn. You know what I'm saying? Like them people that be. I'm like, dog, this ain't, no, you know about that. For you to look at here and say, oh, man, it's like your friends and some shit. Yeah.
They don't mess with
Yeah.
you. They don't go out there.
Yeah, Alton, Illinois. Sorry.
Okay.
We have
No,
Puerto Rico.
It's okay.
Alton, Illinois. We're doing traveling right now.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
You also have Savannah, Georgia.
I don't know nothing about Savannah. Too much. I've been to Atlanta, though.
Oh, you
I ain't
didn't
gonna
touch
talk.
on Louisiana, New Orleans.
Well, New Orleans is just a different thing because New Orleans has a different type of ritual, right? Spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
How they worship the Mardi Gras in a sense is a party of the dead. And I'm paraphrasing the heck out of it.
Right.
And don't want to offend anybody, but it is a party of the dead. So, I mean, we don't even have to spend that much time on that.
Okay.
You celebrating the dead, you trying to get the dead to rise up. Somebody might hear you, right? It said let the dead stay with the dead and the living stay with the living, but
Well, back to Savannah, Georgia. So there was a hospital during the Civil War
okay.
that they say is it's called the Marshall House, and then the Parrot House, and the Moon River Brewing Company.
Okay.
So yes, a few U.S. historical homes, inns, and restaurants are rumored for spirits roaming through.
Yeah. Shouts out to Savannah.
Then you
I know
also
Savannah. I
have-
know a little bit about Savannah. There's a no, that's Columbus. Never mind.
Okay, Portland, Oregon.
I was just talking about Portland earlier today. So today coming up here, I had to take an alternate route because the road that I take up here intentionally to see the water and the trees was closed
Oh,
at the last time. Oh, thanks. Thanks for sympathy. And so I had to take an alternate route. But when I was coming, I was whispering around one of the corners there, and I said, I swear to God, this morning I said, wow, this reminds me of Portland.
mm,
It was beautiful.
okay.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So did it remind you of the Shanghai tunnels?
No.
So they have underground tunnels. They've been there since the 1800s.
Okay. What were they used for?
To smuggle
to juggle.
women.
Yeah. So do you know how cocaine and all that stuff got banned?
Banned?
Yeah, back in like the 30s.
No.
So literally there is no other injunction. They can write it down, but this is really what happened. So white leaders felt that the Japanese men who were bringing in the what's the name of the plant, Francis?
Opium.
The opium plants over. They would give it to the women, and the women were interacting with the Japanese men. And so they literally banned it because they said that it was used to lure in. Is that the word? Lure in.
Lure.
That Little Caesars pizza showed up. A little slow. Lure in women into the bed of Japanese men. So then they put that up as the ban for that, and actually that was one of the things that started the PR effect that led to World War. What was Pearl Harbor? 49? Nah. What was Pearl Harbor? But that led that media outlet for those stories then led to the buildup of Pearl Harbor because we wanted
1941.
41. Okay, I was off. I knew it was in the 40s.
December 7th.
December 7th. Which, mind you, is a pretty good time to do that 7 years after we have given our currency away to the Federal Reserve. Shots out, first off, to the Federal Reserve. The most gangsterous thing you could ever do is to have a country sign over their currency to you and be a private company, but represent it as if you're federal and never get audited.
Yeah.
Dog.
That's the master trick.
Dog. You guys are really awesome people. You're very fantastic at what you do. And I look to learn from you.
Okay. Next is Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Ain't nothing federal about it. It ain't federal. It's a private company.
Yeah.
The Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve who prints our money.
Yeah.
They're not.
I did a little research on them on who owns the Federal Reserve. It's actually a couple.
Yeah.
People
that goes back to what I was
from
telling you
around the
about the
world.
Titanic. The whole reason for that.
Well,
They have their own board
the
and
proper way to say it is a couple families.
Absolutely.
A couple is right.
It's more than a couple. It's about 4.
Then that's more than a couple. That's
I said it's more than a couple.
more.
More than a couple. It's like 4.
Few or more.
It's 4.
Wow, there's so much into that. Okay.
He who
That's
has the pen writes the history. The Federal Reserve Treasurer in 1932 was asked, Treasurer, how do you feel the lawmakers and the people of America will feel about the Federal Reserve being a private company and printing America's money? And he said, who? The lawmakers? the people. We don't care about that. Give us the money, we'll write the laws. Now that's gangster.
And who has the money
The Federal Reserve.
has the power.
It has the power. Also, I know we were going to brush over this, but I want to leave you with this today. There are companies and people. Can you please tell me what's going on in Europe right now? This is a great segue for 5 more minutes. If I'm going to go
5
ahead and
more
hit people
minutes.
across the head today, we might as well just
So
dump it.
it's a company in the UK, British, Polish,
Right,
European Union.
right.
They started putting chips
Mm.
in people.
Wow.
They're about as small as a safety pin.
Yeah,
It's cost $300.
yeah.
Almost 200 people
Hey, yeah.
did their
That
implants.
sounds so fun.
It goes right in your hand.
It goes in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the purpose of the implant?
So
you
you're
don't you're cashless.
So your chip
Cardless.
in your hand right now that's being placed in your hand is to help you.
It's your whole wallet.
It has you a utility. You have a digital wallet in your hand. You can program it at home. You got an app. And when you go in the grocery store, all you got to do is this. Zoop, and you walk right out.
You don't have to take your purse.
No,
You can say, "Oh, I forgot my debit card."
no.
Your hand is your debit card.
That's okay. Yay!
What's the name of this company?
Doesn't matter. Let me tell you this. You don't want to name. I don't want to tell anybody the name of the company because I don't want anybody to do it. Listen, here's the thing.
I wasn't
Here's the
about to
problem
say
with that. Real
it's
quick.
real simple.
And I'm
Starts with
and I-
wallet.
well, yeah. Here's the problem with that, guys. No, you're not going to be able to stop this anyway. But just food for thought. What if, in a world about 3 years from now, there was a way for our world to go cashless? Meaning what? Meaning like you can't use a dollar or you don't need a dollar to pay for something. You just
Or you don't have to
use
leave
your
that.
debit card or you use a credit card or you use your phone or you use your hand. Yay!
Or you don't have
Sorry.
to, or you don't have to use that
I got
extra
you.
penny in the
Yeah,
penny.
yay!
No
Yay!
more Coinstar.
No more Coinstar. Yay! No more dirty money. Yay! Yay! Okay. Well,
I just had a thought.
Share it, please.
So inevitably, this eventually is going to happen. What's going to happen to the Federal Reserve?
oh, the Federal Reserve still controls it. So,
Right.
what happens?
They're not gonna shut down and
Yeah,
say.
but
No,
Good point.
Because cash, it's money now, but
okay, I get what you're saying
They
from the
just changed
printing
their
press
format.
aspect.
yeah.
From the printing press aspect. Well,
they can give those to
every fortnight,
countries. So
I'm gonna tell you this: every fortnight, when the Federal Reserve cuts their pallets, their fresh pallets of money, they usually cut them at $100 million per pallet. Okay, they may cut anywhere from 10,000 to 19,000 pallets in a day, in a given day. But let me tell you something: that fortnight, that money that's being cut, it goes to somebody. Somebody owns that money.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who it is. I'm not telling. The point is this. That system will just be duplicated digitally.
Right.
But here's what I'm trying to tell you before we run out of time, because this is really important. Say you got your chip in your hand, and say the central banks that distribute our funds come up with a plan with the G7 and say, hey, we're going to start the central bank digital currency system. Yeah. You don't need money anymore. Yeah. We can just do cross-border settlements. Yeah. Well, what happens if they start to program it? What do you mean? I mean, like you work for Ford. And I mean, like you did your work that day, and then you get your 5,000 digital credits. and you want to go to Walmart, but Ford's contract is with Myers, Kroger's, Albertsons, Dwayne Reed. You can't buy from Walmart. Wait a minute. Oh, wait, it gets worse. What if you go to Walmart, though, and you want to buy some Lloyd's ribs? But Ford has a contract with Tyson Chicken. Or you bought ribs this week and you reached your rib limit.
Ooh. That goes to the social credits too. If you behave good, you get points.
Yeah.
They'll do away with your credit
Welcome
score.
to the new world order.
The Hunger Games.
And it says in the Bible, you take that chip in your hand and your forehead if you want to. It's a straight ticket. Now, I ain't saying, but it said it was going to happen. It's happening. Like, I don't know how much y'all like Harry Potter, but that book is a history book and a future book. And hey, you eat the meat and throw out the bones. Just say it was gonna happen. It's happening. You just heard it. It's literally in the news. Now, mind you,
maybe I guess you might have to go back to Illinois with the ghosts if you don't want to join into the party. Go be hanging out with the ghost party with them.
That ain't gonna help. So anyway, look, I love y'all out there. I know we was chilling today. I was having a moment today.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, but I don't care.
I didn't even finish.
I don't care.
I'm about to say them real fast.
I don't care. No, we got literally a minute and 15 seconds left. So, Francis, who would you like to say hi to and send a shout out to?
Shout out to myself for getting up this morning.
Yeah, way to keep it real.
Shout out to you, guys, and 93, 97 Network.
Absolutely true.
Shout out to my coworkers here. Y'all are awesome.
Thank you.
Of course, my radio family, and my family, my besties. They know I love them.
Yep.
Shout out to Jay wherever you are.
Yep.
And it was good vibing with y'all today.
Appreciate you
and
very
the
much.
Listeners, I appreciate. We appreciate our listeners. Absolutely.
All right, you guys left me 30 seconds. Thanks.
29 now.
So,
peace out.
Keep praying for each other, and keep your minds right, and prepare for the worst, but expect the best. In God we trust, and we better keep that close to our hearts. Jay the Great Show, Samuel Takeover is done.
Bye-bye.
Peace. You know what song that is?
Yeah. Yeah,
that's me and Brian.
Oh,
Nothing to say? Okay. I left the show with that. Nothing else to do but send it home to you. Peace. Well, okay. Bye.